Okay, this will be an interesting one. See how we can make this one come up. Gonna make it 70.7. See if we can make this piece of shit look good in some way. So we're going here, and we're going to add, we're going cyan for this, cyan or blue, I'm trying to decide. I think it's going to be cyan. And the colour adjust, we're just going to get our shit happening. Right. Actually, we're going to leave it in the middle, the black for this. We've got grey. We don't want to turn the grey and make it look really shit. So let's see how what we've got. We've got here Fortune Weekly. It's a Chinese financial magazine, and it shows here. This looks it's a bit sad, you know, makes the poor feel shit. I mean, credit score. I know it's a credit score, but it could very easily feel a bit classist against those who are less fortunate. That's how I feel, that I belong here, and it's like, fuck, I hate being that. It's not fucking right, you know. Why do they call it? It feels like classism, and classism is like the new racism, the new sexism, whatever. It's not real, but actually we're going to make this a bit smaller. But basically, it just seems like our society is becoming increasingly classist. So classism is just another form of discrimination. So what can we do about it? Nothing. The rich have the fucking say on everything. So if they say that we've got to discriminate against the less fortunate, well, that's just tough. It's just the pecking order. I don't like it, but it seems to be a fact. And these magazines perpetuate it. So let's see how this comes out and make something more interesting out of this piece of shit. Actually, that looks really good. I think we've done a really good job at mangling the image. Pretty much, it's quite funny. We're just going to quickly switch that to copied paper. I think that's good enough, pretty much. I don't like this bit too much, but I'm just trying to decide what's going to be the centre of this piece. I think that's going to be the centre, but that's an interesting take on this potentially classist publication. So yeah, I'm actually wondering, we're going to do the whole thing, stuff it. I'm just going to make it look really interesting. But you just get the feeling that when you look at a magazine like that, you don't feel like you belong or you're important. There's always a sense of importance attached to being wealthy or rich. There's just a sense of importance, like you're really somebody if you make a lot of money. But if you don't make shit, you're a piece of shit. That's what it seems. That's the message I get. It's really quite demeaning to think that people often think you are what your bank balance is, or you are what your job is. You know, if you're a cleaner, you're considered scum. If you're a CEO, even a financially rotting environmental vandal, even if you're an environmental vandal, killing lots of animals and cutting down huge amounts of forests like in the Amazon, well, basically you're still considered somebody because you got all this fucking money and prestige and power. So you have the power these people have the power to destroy things en masse as individuals, these rich people, and also create slavery. Most people in China don't have that much money. This is the rich Chinese, but there's a lot of poor Chinese who build our phones, who build our electronics. Even most parts of this photocopier was made in China. The only part that wasn't made in China, from what I could tell by the labelling, was the pedestal, the thing which the rest of this machine sits on. So basically, these Chinese newspapers, or should I say financial papers, are for the more fortunate Chinese, the ones that can afford to come to Australia and settle and buy up heaps of real estate. But the Chinese that get discriminated against are the ones. Well, I think they're in their homeland in China, manufacturing stuff, working hard to build our iPhones, our photocopiers, our cheap fashion, things that go into cheap shops are normally made in China, and these poor little workers don't get much praise for what they do for us. So even a person like me is nowhere near as poor as they are. And basically they just get treated, no one thinks about them, they just buy the product and that's it. But it's easy to take them for granted, but man, they build stuff. They're very hard working. They're willing to take this slave labour and somehow live in just so they can put food on the table and stuff like that. And these rich ones really are obnoxious. And basically, if you're not rich, you're not basically, there's nothing to write about you. You're not important just because you're not fucking rich, just because you're not pulling the dollars like these people are. And it just makes me feel sad. I feel like I don't belong, like I don't matter because I'm not successful. My father is one of those types of people who measures monetary success as success. He knows that I'm not rich and he doesn't like it. He thinks he used to say to me as a child when I was 10, because the western suburbs was considered a low class place to live in. And my dad used to always say to me when I was 10 years old, if you don't do your homework or you don't do your schoolwork, you're going to end up in the western suburbs. So classism was put into me when I was a child from my family, my dad and also my mum. And basically, my dad made me frightened of the western suburbs, and that's the kind of shit I grew up with. And I'm disabled, so again, disabilities get discriminated against as well. And basically, it's called ableism. Discrimination against the disabled can normally be called ableism. It's like ableism, an example of ableism could be a disabled toilet not having a ramp. And how does a person in a wheelchair get themselves up without a ramp? I don't know. I've seen this, and ableism or disabled people expected to work hard like a normal person when they might make more mistakes or errors because they have a memory problem. That's one of the problems I have, a memory problem. And to be expected to work alongside normal people at their pace is a form of ableism. So yeah, discrimination is big in this world. There has not been any improvement. It's gotten worse. Why it's gotten worse? I can only just say it's the rich people, because they control things. They have the power to bargain and buy, wheel and deal. But we have nothing. We have nothing. No fucking power. And basically, that's it. It's discrimination, classism. And my parents, especially my dad, and my dad still regards me as a failure because I haven't succeeded financially, I haven't succeeded vocationally or work-wise, I haven't succeeded socially, so I haven't got any friends, so I'm a flop. I haven't married, I'm a flop. And of course at school, scholastically, I flopped. No good, hopeless at school, hopeless at TAFE, everything a failure. So I've got a lot of hard work to do to convince my father that I'm not a failure and therefore he can't bully me. So I'm going to basically work hard on this photocopier art, because this piece of shit, capitalist machine, I have to make use of this piece of capitalist shit and I have to ride over capitalism, use it like a dirty rag and fucking use it, abuse it, Not abuse, I don't mean smash this machine, but I mean abuse it as in abuse the capitalist system. And I'm going to fucking win. And my dad is going to have no excuse to bully me. If I spend time with him, I want him to talk nicely. I want him to talk to me in a respectful manner, because he's been very disrespectful. He even threw me out of his house by changing his fucking keys without me knowing. What a fucking gutless little prick. What a fucking asshole. And he favouritised my brother because he's a success. So I fucked. I know I failed. So I'm going to try. He doesn't believe in photocopier art. He thinks this is a problem. He thinks it's useless. He reckons my past is what affects my future, and that pisses me off. That's bullying to me when he talks about my photocopier art being useless. I'm disabled, but this does not interfere with my ability to make beautiful pictures with these machines. He's never liked it, but it's the only draw. It's the only draw card that I've got. It's the only ace that I have to play on the table. If I don't play that fucking ace and play it well, he'll forever hate me. And I hate him now, and I won't like him until he fucking comes and apologises to me for his ableism and shit like that. Look, this is what I'm good at. I know I didn't sell it well when I had the opportunity in the 90s, and I'm going to get married, but I have to get my shit successful before I have time to get married. I haven't got time to spend time with my future husband, so I can't get married until I've made some kind of traction on YouTube, on Facebook, on social media in general. I've got to make this viral. I've got to make this big. I've got to appear on my father's YouTube news. What do they call it? Not news. What's trending? You know, I've got to be basically trending, and hopefully Dad will see me pop up on his YouTube feed, and then he'll fucking get respect. I'll get respect, because it means a lot that I bury the hatchet. I don't want to hate my father for the rest of my life. I don't want to go to my grave. And I don't want him to go to the grave hating me or not having me talk to him, because I don't talk to him anymore. So I won't talk to him until he fucking apologises to me. He's got a fucking lot of apologising to do. So I'm not going to fucking I'm not going to try and be nice to him. I'm just going to treat him roughly until he fucking apologises, till he gets the message. Anyway, that's enough. I think we can call it quits.